So on the WWE end, one of the biggest pieces of news, Matt, this week, as far as this show is pertained, was the release of Cameron Grimes. We've
Mm,
done an episode on Cameron Grimes, Trevor Lee. You go way back with
way
Trevor and
back.
his family. You were quite literally in the room when he
Yeah,
was born.
you're right.
He put up a very, very emotional video when he got cut. What can you tell us about your interaction with him regarding that, and what's your biggest advice?
Um, I spoke to him probably right before that video went up, and he had just texted me to let me know that had happened. And I was gonna say both myself and Shane Helms, I feel like we've kind of also been father figures in his life. As you know, it might sound a little odd. His dad was around for a long time, but still, since he's gone, like he was just always around myself and Shane and my brother and his dad. God, we would do Omega shows, and for the people that don't know, Tracy Cadell, which is Trevor Lee Cadell, Cameron Grimes' dad, him and I, we're the two people who started Omega originally when it was called the East Coast Wrestling Federation, ECWF. That was the original name. And he was also the person who met this guy, Kenneth Morgan, who had this big 20-foot ring with a trampoline in the middle. And that's where we got introduced into like wrestling, and like the whole production of selling tickets and setting up the ring and booking people and booking a show or whatever it may be. That was our introduction in 1992, like right when we first started. And then in 1993, myself and Cameron Grimes' dad, we started running shows, and we worked very closely together. And like I said, I was there from the moment he was born all the way up. I remember him as a baby, being in the ring, playing. In a lot of ways, much like I think people will have Maxwell burned in their mind when he was a little kid doing stuff with me on TNA. That's how Trevor's kind of burned in my mind in many ways. I remember, just him being just such a small little child and like loving to get into the ring and loving to play with his dad. So I just once again reiterated to him that his dad was so proud of him. His dad was extremely proud of him when he just started making it on Ring of Honor, and when he made it in TNA and whatnot. And he was able to tell him that he was signing to WWE before his dad, unfortunately passed away. But like his dad loved pro wrestling so much, and he was so passionate about it, and he was really great at being working as a team to try and like promote the show and bring the show together and whatnot. He was so great and so passionate about that. And like I know his dream, Tracy's dream, was if he couldn't make it, if he never got the opportunity to make it, he wanted his son to make it, and Trevor did. And I just once again reiterated to Trevor, his dad is crazy proud of him. And I'm immensely proud of him, and I'm proud of what he's done. And he has such a bright future ahead of him. That first release, it hits very hard. It hits very differently, especially when you feel like you're having your dream taken away from you, and you think it might be over. You doubt yourself, you question yourself. But he's going to be good, and I've told him my phone's always on. Let me know whenever, and I'll do whatever it takes to help you out. And I'm sure there'll be tons of things that I can buzz him on that'll help get him uh, uh, reacclimated to the independent wrestling scene and working to get into another company. He's going to be great. I mean, I have no worries about that at all. He's going to be golden.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. I'm very, very surprised that WWE didn't do anything with him when he got the main roster call up because he was very over in NXT. I mean, he was
Right.
really connecting with the To the Moon character, and fantastic storyline with LA Knight they did there with the $1 million championship. I thought was very, very fun. And he just got the call up and nothing ever came of it. And I was very, very surprised by that. Uh, what do you think happens in a case like that? This isn't the
Yeah.
first
I,
time
I,
that
I don't know. I mean, he got the call up when Vince was still there, though, right?
not officially. Like, I mean, Vince was maybe in the background, but on the surface level, Paul was still running stuff.
I feel like there was the time where Vince was gone, and then like he was kind of calling his shots from afar, it seemed like, right? In many ways. But then there was a point where he was kind of like back and he was flexing himself. I feel like that whole period was just such a weird period. And there were a lot of people that were probably, you know, had a they were kind of like unstable in
Mm,
many ways, just because like no one was really sure who was running. I feel like now that Vince is gone and it is it's Paul Levesque through and through. He's making all the decisions. I feel like everyone's now on more solid grounding and they know where they're at, if that makes sense.
mm.